everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, hello, I'm Lucy and today's video is going to be another Camp America video. I haven't done one of these since I was at camp, so August. Yeah, it's been a while since I picked up my camera. I tend to go through phases of filming every day and then not picking it up for half a year. Seeing as we are in lockdown and I have nothing better to do, I thought that today I would make a Camp America video for you. So this video was actually requested by someone because I did my packing video. They wanted to know the things that I wish I had taken and then things that I probably didn't need to take. So today I'm going to go through that with you. I've got it all written down here, so if I'm not looking at you, it's because I'm looking at my phone. So I'm going to start off with the things that I didn't need to take or things that I wouldn't recommend you take. The first thing for me, this is gonna vary depending on your camp, so it's probably worth checking with a camp director or something, but I bought an alarm clock which was like this big. If you've seen my packing video you will have seen it, because I was like, I can't wake myself up every day, so I'm gonna need it. I ended up actually throwing it away without ever using it, which is a bit annoying because I paid for it and it's a waste of plastic and all that stuff. But it turns out when we got to camp that we were actually allowed to use our phones. Every camp differs slightly on their phone rules, which is why I say you should check with someone before you go to camp. But with our camp, all of us were allowed our phones, including the campers, but they weren't allowed SIM cards in their phones, so theirs was used for things like alarms and then also like taking photos and videos and stuff. Whereas we were allowed ours with our SIM cards in, with Wi-Fi, all that kind of stuff. So I didn't need an alarm clock at all. I just, sorry, I just used my phone the whole time. So yeah, it was a bit of a waste of money, and it's not massive, but it was a bit bulky and annoying. And if I knew I didn't need it, then I definitely wouldn't have packed it. So first tip is to check with your camp directors or someone who's been to your camp and just see, are we allowed phones? And if you are, then obviously there's some things that you might have brought separately that you're not going to need to take with you. The second thing I've written down is towels. I took a towel with me, and it turns out at camp they actually just provide you with a towel. So if you're really pushed for space in your suitcase and you want to eliminate some stuff, again, I would check with your camp. But for most overseas counsellors, they're going to provide you with bedding and towels, but I'll get onto bedding in a minute. And then also, while I was over there, because I was going to Florida afterwards, I wanted like a nice beach towel. I went to Target and they had really nice cheap towels, and they're massive. Like, American towels are massive, whereas English towels, like, I struggle to fit a towel around me, at least comfortably anyway. So yeah, I would suggest just buying one while you're over there. The next one, I learned the hard way, is don't take any of your expensive electronics unless you're going to lock them up. I took my Beats headphones, my camera, my laptop, my hard drive, all those kind of things. To be fair, I needed them because first of all I wanted to vlog some stuff for my YouTube channel, and also I was a video counsellor. I worked in video, so I wanted to have my laptop to edit on, my camera to film, all those kinds of things. What I did essentially is I had like a small suitcase and I had a padlock on it, so that none of my campers could get to my laptop and things like that. So my laptop and my camera mostly stayed safely locked away, but my headphones I was using every single day, multiple times a day. I was taking them to and from my bunk to the area that I worked in, and they actually got stolen by someone. And I know they got stolen because at the end of camp we completely like cleaned out every area that we worked in. Our bunk, we actually had to move all the furniture out of our bunk, and it was like absolutely spotless. So I do know that they got stolen. Like, at the end of the day, it's my fault for not locking them up properly when I should have been. And kids will be kids. Actually, some adults don't even like stick to the rules of, you know, don't steal stuff. So if it's something that that's really expensive and you really don't want to lose it, I just suggest not taking it or being a lot stricter with locking it up, because if I'd locked up my headphones then I wouldn't have lost them. So that's on me. Oh yeah, okay, so the next one I've put is like hair straighteners or hair curlers, because I find them to be quite bulky, and obviously you only really get to bring like a suitcase and a backpack or something like that. 9 times out of 10, your co-counsellor, a counsellor in the bunk next to you, or even your campers are going to be bringing stuff like that. and my campers just let me use theirs. I was like, can I use your hair straighteners today? And they were like, yes. But the thing is, like, when you're at camp, you're so tired, it's not a fashion show really. Like, you just kind of put your hair up in a scruffy bun and get on with it. No one really cares. Like, for all the campers, they're like, oh my god, I need to look good and impress this guy or whatever. But for you, you're kind of like, I'm just gonna roll out of bed and go to breakfast in my pajamas. Like, honestly, it's not a fashion show. Bam, 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 ba-dum, bam. Okay, this is something that I didn't personally do, and I feel like most people wouldn't do, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Don't bring all your toiletries in like big bulk packages. You don't need a whole bottle of shampoo and conditioner to get you through all those kinds of things. Like, you can just buy them in Walmart when you get over there. Like, within the first like 2 or 3 days of us being at camp, we did Walmart hauls. Like, the camp arranged to take us to Walmart, and you just buy all those things there. So there literally is no point, like, they're such heavy items, you don't need them in your suitcase. What I would suggest is, because I stayed in a hostel before I ended up at my camp, and then the first like day or two you're probably going to want toiletries, what I did is from Primark or like Boots or something, you know, you get like the really tiny ones. I just took it in those. I took like maybe 2 or 3 hair washes worth, and like soap and toothpaste and things like that. Just don't bother taking massive products. If it's something you can only get in England and you really feel like you need it, then obviously go for it. But personally, I would just buy them over there. I feel like I haven't paused for breath this whole time. Oh yeah, just to add on to that, like, something I would suggest is when you do that first Walmart haul, if there's something that you're thinking like, I kind of fancy getting one of those, or like, I think that might be useful, just get it that first time. Because I was trying to save money. What I did is I really wanted a mattress topper, but like, they were a bit pricey. They probably weren't even that much, but I was just like, I'm not spending $20 on a mattress topper. So I didn't get one, and then every time we went to Walmart, I was like, oh, I should get a mattress topper. And my friend got one, and I sat on her bed, and they were so nice. And then we were like 2 weeks before the end of camp, and all I could think is I regret not getting a mattress topper, because like, the beds were fine, but when you're sleeping in like a camp bed for 8 weeks or however long you were there for, I think for me it was 9 weeks, like, you do get a bit stiff and it's not very comfortable. So if you see something that you think, yes, I'm definitely going to use it, even if it's something you can't take home, just buy it the first time you go to Walmart, otherwise you regret it like I did. Yeah, it was a bit annoying. Again, this was personal to me, it might be different for other camps, but I took a rain mac and I did not use it once. Like, every time it was raining, thundering, lightning, all that kind of stuff, you're indoors. I worked mostly indoors anyway, like doing editing with the kids and stuff like that, but like, you're not really going to be outside in the rain that much. So obviously a rain mat doesn't weigh that much, so if you have the space, like, go ahead and take it, because it's a good thing to have. But all I'm suggesting is that you just like prioritize little things, like, because everything in your suitcase adds up really quickly, and when you're somewhere for 8 or 9 weeks or longer depending on your camp, you just need to focus on like things you know that you'll definitely use, and then maybe sacrifice some things that you won't use. And again, like I said before, if there's things you know you can get cheap in Walmart, Target, those kinds of places, just don't bother packing them. Honestly, like, it's such a waste of weight, heaviness in your suitcase that there's just no point. Like, just prioritize taking other things that you might want more than a rain mat, because I didn't use mine. Okay, so that's the end of things that I feel like I didn't need to take or wasn't necessary to take, because a lot of the time you can find a use for everything, or you can give it to someone else, or your campers might enjoy it, things like that. So I'm going to move on to things that I wish I had taken, or I definitely should have taken. The first one, it is really bulky, so what I would suggest is wearing them when you're flying over, is a pair of walking boots. I'm going to say wellies, but obviously don't wear wellies on the plane. Unless that's what you want to do, then go for it. But I was like, yeah, we're going to be in America, so it's going to be really hot all the time. I'm going to want to wear flip-flops and sandals and all that stuff. Yes, it was very hot, but it was also really humid. So every single morning the grass was like soaking wet, damp, there were bugs in the grass, my socks would get wet, my flip-flops would get wet, my feet would get wet. Definitely bring a pair of like walking boots or wellies. I ended up ordering a pair of like they were like chunky trainers, but they came up quite high, and I used them as like walking boots, and I ended up wearing them like almost every day after I ordered them, because like it's not always practical to be walking around in like flip-flops and sandals when you're at a camp and you're working with kids and there's sports and things like that. And also in my personal like workspace in our arts and tech room, it was really cold because we had heating, which is great because outdoors was boiling hot, but then indoors was freezing cold. So whenever I'd go in flip-flops, I'd end up getting really cold feet. That's just my suggestion, is take a pair of walking boots. The next one, I really didn't think this was going to be a thing. I thought like the whole time you were just going to be on camp, because when my sister went to camp, she said that they didn't really get to go off camp that much because theirs was in the middle of nowhere. So unless you have like good transport and stuff like that, you're not going to get to go many places. So I was like, okay, I'm basically just going to live in leggings and t-shirts. Like, I'm not going to dress up fancy, I'm not going to be going anywhere, there's no point in bringing nice clothes. I was wrong about that. Obviously it depends where your camp is located, but we, on our days off, actually, even as some of like our camp activities and our camp training before the campers got there, we did like a karaoke night at a bar, we had like a dance, we did things like that. So bring nice clothes and some jewellery, and maybe if you're that kind of person, bring like a pair of heeled shoes or nice boots or something like that, because I feel like people are lying when they say that all you do is stay on camp and look after kids. That was not the case for me at all, at least on my days off. We went to a lot of bars, we didn't go clubbing or anything like that, but we'd go out drinking, we'd go for food. We went to a 4th of July party, which was really fun. Karaoke nights, things like that. So I definitely would recommend bringing like a pair of hoops or a pair of heels, some nice jeans, top. Yeah, just kind of like smart things that you would wear to dress up, because the first time we went out to the karaoke bar, I was really struggling to find something nice and like make myself look nice and things like that. So it's not all just sitting and looking after children and getting muddy and doing sports and stuff like that. You will end up going out doing adulty things. Adulty things, I didn't say that properly. Okay, so the next one is kind of like, I don't know if it's personal to me, but it's just something that I found, is that I bought a duvet from Walmart and I hated the material. It was like a really horrible silk, like it wasn't even a nice silk, it was like the kind that like sticks to you, and especially when you're in like a hot sweaty camp, it was not very nice. So this is a bit random, but the whole time I was just thinking like, I wish I'd brought a Primark like duvet cover set with me, because they're just like nice, cheap, and I find them like soft. Like all of my bedding is normally from Primark, so that is kind of personal to me. But if you're a bit fussy with like the things that you sleep with, then I would definitely recommend buying one of those and taking it. Yes, it does take up a lot of space, but like I feel like if you leave it wrapped up and it's just in that little square, you can just put it in like the corner of your suitcase and it'll be fine. The next one kind of relates to the last one in a way. It's just like taking like nice things with you. Your bunk is going to be where you live for 9 weeks of your life, and you want to try and make it look pretty. Like, they do look a bit dreary, especially like before the campers get there and they bring all like their pictures and postcards and all that stuff. Like ours was like a kind of like a cork wall, and just black bed frames, and that was it. So if you watch my packing video, you'll see that I took like a tapestry with me, which I really thought was a good idea actually, like reflecting on it. That was like the nicest thing in my bunk, especially because I had that horrible Walmart duvet. So just things like any pictures that you have, any like postcards and photos, things like that, anything kind of like this, just things that look pretty, blankets, duvets, that sort of thing. You just want it to look nice, because when you're in that room like day in day out for 9 weeks, you do kind of want like a piece of home with you. It's not just the campers that get homesick, believe it or not. I did cry once because I was feeling homesick, and you will feel like that, but that doesn't outweigh like all the good times and the great memories you're gonna have at camp. So yeah, I definitely suggest bringing some pretty things. I've been talking for 19 minutes and my hair is frizzy. My dad's calling me. Why are you calling me? Order you some food. What do you want?
Oh, I don't know. Get your list out and you and your mum order some takeaway, shall we?
I'm filming a video. I'll be down in like 5 minutes.
Alright, no worries. She's awesome. See you, man.
Bye.
Bye.
He wants me to order him takeaway because he's incompetent and can't use his phone. Anyway, we are moving on to my last one. So, my very last tip on like a thing to bring, or I don't know, you're gonna have things with you that will help you do this, but it's just take videos and pictures. So bring a Polaroid camera, bring your video camera like I did, like a disposable camera, anything like that. Oh my god, I wish I'd taken so much more videos and photos, because the memories that I made were just awesome, but I feel like having like an actual tangible thing to hold on to is really, really nice. So on here I actually have like some camp photos up, and then at our leaving do for camp, they had like disposable Polaroid it was a Polaroid camera on the table, and we just took like hundreds and hundreds of photos, and I've hung them all up, and it's so nice to have something to remind me of camp. So even if you're just taking videos and photos on your phone, I would definitely suggest making vlogs like I did. I really wish I'd made more vlogs, because when I look back on them, they just make me smile. It's a really nice thing to do. But if you're not like a video vloggy camera kind of person, definitely take pictures, especially Polaroids. I feel like Polaroids are really cute. So yes, that is my last tip, is to take camera things with you. Yes, definitely capture all the memories, because you're going to have such a good time. Fingers crossed for all you guys that go into camp this year, you will be able to go, and if not, just postpone it for next year or the year after. Like, honestly, I know it's heartbreaking, but you will have such a good time. So if it does get cancelled this year, don't think that's it, it's over. Like, just go the year after. Like, I definitely recommend it, and you're gonna have so much fun. So that is the end of my what I should or should not have brought to camp video. If you have any suggestions of like videos that you want me to film to do with camp or not to do with camp, just let me know. I'm happy to tell you my experience, question and answer kind of things, whatever you want. I'm happy to oblige. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, thumbs up, follow me, subscribe, all those things. And I'll leave my packing video link in the description below. I'm laughing because all my friends that watched it said it's the most boring video they've ever watched. But when I was going to camp, I found it really helpful to watch other people's packing videos. So yeah, give it a look if you want to, and I will see you soon. Da, da, da. I feel like this is going to be the worst footage I've ever filmed.